Kenya Wildlife Service and its partners is currently undertaking a digital inventory for all elephant ivory and rhino horns stockpiles in the country. The purpose of conducting this inventory, which is a one-off exercise, is to provide digital data for all pieces of elephant, ivory and rhino horns, and have that consolidated in a database that will be centralized at Kenya Wildlife Service headquarters. The purpose of conducting this inventory is that for the first time then we are migrating our database into a digital platform, but we have been conducting inventory exercises for elephant ivory and rhino horns and other trophies that we collect across the country on a manual platform, but this exercise will now digitize that information. We want to obtain a one-off data of how much stockpile is available in our country. You'd acknowledge that this exercise is important for a number of reasons, but more importantly, that the new Wildlife Act that was enacted in the year 2013 provide that the service provide for an audit of all the stockpiles available for gazettement by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of wildlife. The other reason is that we also want to comply with the CITES requirement, particularly the Conference of Parties during the 16th conference, which required that all state parties file annual reports every February of every year of how much they hold. We want to profile all the DNA profile of individual pieces that have been obtained across the ages, across the years, and across the regions. So stockpiles refer to stores of individual pieces of ivory and rhino horns and other trophies that are obtained from across the country by all law enforcement agencies. So when they are accumulated over time, they constitute a stockpile and therefore is recognized as government trophy held in stockpiles. They are stores of these individual pieces. The digital platform would enable us as a service to make management decisions in respect to the way of handling and disposal of the trophies. For purposes of retrieving information, it's pretty easier for us to access that information. It's also very easy for us to share that information and have it authenticated by other law enforcement agencies or any government agency for that matter. And more importantly, because digital information is easier to carry around. It is very important as a country to know the volume of ivory and rhino horns and other trophies that we have in our custody, purposely because it will inform management of the stocks, their security and their management in terms of disposal. We are looking at the declaration by the President that he would want the country to dispose of all government-held stocks of ivory and rhino horns and other trophies by the end of this year. Once we have a data reflecting the volume, we will then use that information to determine the volume of the ivory and rhino horns that can be disposed to comply with the presidential decree, and more importantly, even to have that stock being held in our custody be shared with other law enforcement agencies and government agencies for purposes of audit, and ensuring that they are also used for purposes of education, particularly for conservation education that we conduct. And if you want to know the gene pool of the individual populations across the various ecosystems, that information can be retrieved from the database that we'll be creating.